Hello and welcome to this breakdown of the Libra new moon taking place at 13 degrees. So excited to get into this and break it all down for you, so let's go. This Libra new moon takes place at 13 degrees. It's happening at the same time as a conjunction to Mars. There's also going to be a conjunction to Mercury retrograde in Libra as well. We have a trine to Saturn retrograde. As the moon moves away, it's also going to make a trine to Jupiter retrograde. All these planets in air signs retrograde, it's a mess. We're dealing with a lot of energy right now. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, don't fret. This is very natural to be feeling at this current moment. Just try and take some space for grounding. A big thing about this Libra new moon, for me personally, a theme that I see coming up here is the state of ambivalence. And that's to do with anything that makes you feel contradictory to who you are as a person. Ultimately, I really feel like a lot of this energy that the moon is bringing up is very highly related to that which causes tension, especially tension to the higher self we're looking to become, or the person that we're hoping to become, and all those goals that we set in place to be that person. A lot of times that ambivalent space can be because we're not enacting in a way that really embodies that person that we're looking to be. This causes a lot of tension within the body, it causes a lot of friction within the body and the mind as well. So much mental stress comes up here. So a lot of what this Libra new moon is centered around is making sure that we can actually bring focus back to ourselves and undergo a form of processing. Libra's really big on removing toxicities from the body, or just removing anything that creates an imbalance, because of course it's scale, it's all about balance. So if we're not processing our emotions effectively or having appropriate methods that enable us to do so, it also means that we are holding things in, which end up becoming harmful to our being. So this new moon in Libra is actually quite big on what we're doing to ensure that we're processing and making sure that we're taking the right steps that are appropriate for the person that we're looking to become, and how we can embody that today. With this new moon in Libra, with the conjunction to Mars, I really do believe it's going to be bringing up things that we do that enable us to fall into patterns that are quite harmful, patterns that can be abusive to us sometimes. What I mean by that is where we keep going wrong with ourselves, and where we keep repeating things that aren't necessarily great for our health, our overall health, or our mental well-being, especially within relationships. And I know you're probably thinking, why is it taking me 2 minutes to get to relationships when talking about Libra new moon? I'm here. With relationships, I think this is a massive thing that's being highlighted. Obviously, Libra is so connected to relationships and the people that we form connections with. I think what's going to be coming up here with the conjunction to Mars and that Mercury retrograde is our interactions with others. Where are we within those interactions, and how are we being left unfulfilled within them? That's a huge theme here. Whenever the new moon occurs in Libra, I tend to notice how there's a lot of breakups that happen. There's a lot of friendship breakups that take place. Albeit there's also new relationships that also happen as well, which is a really great thing. But sometimes they're not as lasting as we want them to be or need them to be, especially with so many retrogrades going on in this time too. And with that occurring, I do believe it's so important that we're looking at our role in some of our relationships, the dynamics of our relationships, how we're making sure that we're not being contradictory within them too. Think of it like, if I've been able to set expectations for what I need my relationships to hold or be, if I'm not also able to, one, reciprocate them or see that happening for me, then that's time for me to take my leave from that. So we will see a lot of people go through removing themselves from people that they were once associated with. This could be happening in love, with friendships, with family, also in business relations too. As Mercury retrograde has such a huge hold over us within this energy too, I do really feel like we're going to see a lot of exchange be brought up as a concept within us. So if we're not feeling that anything is reciprocal or even mirrored between us and the people that we have connections with, that's why we're looking to separate ourselves away from people. Mars is all about severance, and in Libra as well, it's severing ourselves from anything that isn't fulfilling within those interactions that we have. Now, Libra is all about refinement as well, so we're also thinking about the way in which we, like I said earlier, process, and how we make sure that we have correct methods of processing too. So we're looking to revise what we do to center ourselves. If you are someone who meditates, who does yoga, who stretches, who exercises, great, good for you. You may find some of those are not working for you right now though, and that's because a lot of the practices we set for ourselves previously need to evolve as we do. That's not to say that you no longer need to meditate or you no longer need to exercise. Maybe it just means that you need to switch it up. For those of you who are not doing any of those things, it may be time to start them. New moons are always a great time to start something, and especially with Mercury retrograde being so concerned with health, making sure that again our mental well-being is really, really good or in a great place for ourselves. This is the perfect time to set practices in place that are going to better you. Mercury is to do with anything habitual. When it comes to the air element as well, we're working with certain habits that lead our behaviors and bodies and communication and interaction, socialization with the world around us. So to ensure we're doing that as best as possible, we need to make sure we have habits set in place that really work well for us and allow us to be the best versions of ourselves that we can be. We're also looking to ensure that we're not compromising our peace. Now, we all have this inner peace within us that we can tap into sometimes. A lot of times it's hard with the busyness of the modern age and, well, capitalism, but it's important that we have practices that enable us to come back to ourselves and just exist with us. A lot of times we're finding we are moving away from seeing what it is I can do for me because we prioritize other people's needs, and that's a huge theme of this new moon as well. Where are you prioritizing other people's needs over your own? And you have to ensure that this is not leading you to burnout or leading you to break down within yourself as well. If you're overdoing it and you're giving to somebody else instead of you, what's happening is you're causing imbalance within yourself, and this tips the scale in somebody else's favor instead of your own. You'll end up ridding yourself of opportunities. You'll end up moving away from things that you've been wanting for so long because you're not putting yourself in positions that enable you to get there. We need our energy, we need our strength, we need courage to be able to chase the things that we want. And if we're giving to other people so much, we're not doing that. So this Libra new moon does ask, what are you doing that's for you? What are you doing to ensure that you are not compromising or sacrificing your own peace? Another big thing with this Libra new moon is really considering how we can apply logic with our instinct. And why that's so important is because we naturally as humans move instinctually. We do things for our survival. And the side of Venus that is Libra isn't necessarily about survival. It's more so others, how we're connected to them, how we're able to create judgments that enable us to move in a socially acceptable way. And so when we're thinking of our instincts, a lot of times our instinctual nature leads us to places that can be a bit detrimental for us or causes us to react in a way that hinders us sometimes. Of course, we all need our instincts. That's not to be confused with intuition. But where we're applying logic with our instincts is sometimes asking ourselves, if my body feels a certain way and I know I do not have a capacity to utilize my body in a way where I'm around other people or I'm in environments where it causes me to have to use up a lot of energy, how can I apply my logic here and say, maybe I need to take a step back? Maybe I need to be able to say, here is my parameter and here is as far as I can extend my capacity to that point. Because otherwise, again, we're leading ourselves to just being completely burnt out and affecting ourselves negatively, and it's not the time to do so. October brings so many planets stationing direct, so as a lot of them are slowing down and we go through the majority of Mercury retrograde with this new moon in Libra, and the majority of October, and well, mid-October, it goes direct, we do have to think about how we're revising just our approach to life and reshaping our perspective. One thing that Libra really makes me think of as well is what we're doing to ensure that we are at peace with ourselves and how we're able to just create a calm, serene sense of living. So please make sure that this is your focus over this new moon. I would urge you all as well to think about your current practices, what changes you need to make within them. Think about those relationships that you're in as well. Where can you find reciprocity? That word. Where can you find reciprocity? That's a big question. Where can you find peace? What are you doing that maybe damages your own peace? Where are you bringing self-harm onto yourself? Where are you falling into patterns that have been repeated so many times that at this point, the universe is kind of pushing you. You're even telling yourself, I need to make this change. So listen to those parts of yourself. Come back and reflect. Withdraw. Withdraw to come back to yourself, but not to isolate. We're never trying to keep ourselves cut off from the people that we need and the support systems that we need. So if that's something that you think is vital for you over this time, reach out to them. With an air moon, a Libra moon specifically, it still speaks to our support systems, but also look to how people in your life or the environments that you're in currently in your day-to-day lives, how are they reflective of what's going on within you? If you're noticing a lot of conflict in your current environments, Where's the conflict within yourselves? How can you resolve that? I think a big part of this new moon is coming up with creative resolutions so that you can ensure your peace and safety is centered. And it's a huge focus of your life. If we can set that for now, it means that the rest of winter can be really, or the transition to winter can be really beneficial for you all. So, I hope you enjoy this new moon in Libra. I really hope you take time to yourself, take time to reflect. If you can, take yourself to nature, just allow yourself to be, to exist, be by water, listen to the wind, do what you need to do for this new moon, but trust that the energy of this new moon will bring up what's happening within you and mirror that in your environments. So you have to pay attention to everything that's going on around you. Happy new moon, folks. If you like this video, be sure to let me know in the comments what you think is going to come up for you for this Libra new moon and how you feel about it. Where is it happening in your chart? Also, please like, subscribe, keep up to date with me on these worldly transits as they happen. I can't wait to bring you more videos. Thank you so much.